Hi friends, welcome to this new Arthik Basic video. Today we are going to cover the basics on the topic of assets and liabilities. These concepts I wanted to cover in a dedicated video of its own because it's super important to know about this concept. And most of the people don't know about them, or sometimes they confuse one with the other. So let's start with the video. If you like the video, do like it, subscribe it, and share it forward with your family and friends. So what are assets? Assets are resources or things owned by an individual that have economic value associated with it and can help in generating income. It helps in growing your money and making your money work for you. Rich people spend their money on buying as much as assets as possible. Assets are categorized into two types of categories: physical or tangible assets and intangible or non-physical assets. Tangible assets include things like house, land, commercial property, and so on. Whereas an intangible asset includes your financial investments like stock market or your mutual fund investments, FDs, and so on. Each asset has its own unique characteristics and thus have their own pros and cons associated with them. Like some are easy to buy and sell, some are risky but give good returns, whereas some are less risky but give low returns, and so on. In the investments topic that we will cover in the future, we will see each of these investments in more detail. Now let's look at what is a liability. Liabilities are obligations that an individual owes to others. Like any borrowing that an individual would have done from others would get called as a liability. Example of liabilities include different types of loans, whether it is home loan, personal loan, credit card loan, or others. Taxes, recurring fees or subscriptions of school or any other such types of subscriptions, or even expenses like medical treatment, transport, and so on, all fall under the liabilities. Basically, anything that takes away money from your pocket would be called as a liability. Based on the duration of the liabilities, they can be categorized as either short-term liabilities or long-term liabilities. Short-term liabilities include short-term loans like credit card, personal loans, and so on. Whereas long-term liabilities include your home loan, which is a long duration loan as such. I would categorize something like a car as a borderline asset or a liability because the value of the car decreases over a period of time and you need to spend money on its operations and maintenance as such, right? So it would be a borderline case. Again, just like assets, each liability has its own characteristics and pros and cons associated with it. You have to be very clear on those characteristics and accordingly make informed decision on it. Like for example, home loan has a very low interest rate, but the duration of the loan and the amount needed to be taken is very high. Whereas personal loan and credit card loan has very high interest rate, but at the same time they have very low duration and so on. We'll see different types of loans and their characteristics in one of the future videos. Now that you know what is an asset and what is a liability, let's do a comparison between them. Assets bring money to the pocket while liability takes money out of your pocket. It's important to manage your assets and liabilities to maintain a healthy financial position. An individual's net worth is determined by subtracting their liabilities from their assets. A positive net worth shows more assets than liabilities, while a negative net worth indicates that the individual has more liabilities than assets. In a lot of press or media articles, you might have heard about billionaires, millionaires, and so on, right? With them having property or assets of millions and billions. What those figures indicate is basically their net worth, which is nothing but whether they have more assets or more liabilities, right? So only people with more assets figure at the top of that list. If you don't have financial literacy, you will never be able to keep the money with you. If you are used to spending all the money you get, then the instance you get big amount of money, it will be gone in no time as such. Example is like some people who win a lottery or get wealth by inheritance, but if they don't know how to handle that wealth, then it will be gone soon and people will be back to their old condition of being without any money as such, right? Striking a fine balance between assets and liabilities is important. It is good to keep liabilities as low as possible or nil if you can, right? Rich people acquire assets while poor people acquire liabilities. That is what it is said. Rich buy assets with whatever money they get, whereas poor buy liabilities. It's important to keep track of your assets and liabilities to understand your financial position and make informed decisions about your finances as such. How to not allow others to take away money from your pocket, and how to keep it for longer, and how to make your money work for you effectively will lead to better financial stability and independence as such. In order to become rich, you got to understand numbers and how and track your assets and liabilities properly. In some countries, individuals with an annual income exceeding certain amount are required to disclose their assets and liabilities in their tax returns. Like in India, if your income is above 50 lakhs, then it is necessary to declare your assets in your ITR or the tax returns that you file every financial year as such. With this, we have come to the end of this video. To summarize, assets and liabilities are two important concepts in personal finance. Understanding the basics of these concepts can help you make informed decisions about your own finances. Key takeaway from this video will be to understand the asset and understand that assets bring money to the pocket while liabilities take money out of your pocket. Hope this video was useful for you. If you like the video, do like it, subscribe it and share it with others. Thank you for watching the video.